Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short, little unboxing video to share with you guys. Sorry, I burped through that last one. I hope you guys didn't hear that. I'm not even gonna cut that out. We're just gonna leave that in there. Thanks so much to Demko for sending this stuff in. We obviously have 3 Demko knives. You can probably guess what's going on here, but we're going to get into these here in just a sec. Thanks so much to Demko. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. So Demko reached out and asked if I would do a comparison between, I guess, some of the less expensive versions of the Shark Cub and then do a giveaway. So obviously I'm going to do that. I know that you guys like Demko knives and you guys also like free knives. So yes, we will definitely give away some awesome Demko knives. I'm actually carrying my own personal Shark Cub in my pocket today. This has quickly become one of my absolute favorite EDC knives. I use this so often, and it is such a good knife to just throw in your pocket and be able to depend on. Despite it being small and compact, this sounds like an ad, but it's true. The Shark Lock is ridiculously strong and super easy to manipulate. I actually prefer carrying this over the 20.5. So it's everything that I love about the 20.5. It's just smaller and more compact, and it also has a blade length that is incredibly legal in most states, right? So it makes it a pretty ideal travel knife. But what we have here, I think, are some less expensive versions. Excuse me. I always do this. Sometimes I run upstairs between recordings and I eat a handful of peanuts because, you know, they're good for you and it's good, long-lasting energy. And I inevitably choke. I'm always choking on nut dust. Why? Should I cut that? No, let's leave it in there. Sure, why not? You know, I'm already too deep into this. God, I really hope nobody ever edits a video of like all of the ridiculous things that I've said out of context. That would not be good for me. So here we have God, I love this. So let me make this point again. I will link all of this stuff down in the description. It's all available. They've been restocked. That's what Demko told me. So this, I think, is the slicer. I have to point this out again. As someone who doesn't love injection mold plastic, this is the highest quality stuff I've ever felt. And the reason is number one, it's solid, and number two, it is both contoured and textured. So this, as I stated in the actual review of this guy, this is the upgraded version in 20CV and G10. It is not contoured. This version, the less expensive version, is actually more comfortable and feels more solid, despite having a steel that, you know, would be considered lesser. This is AUS 10A, which is going to perform very similarly to like right in between 440C and 154CM. So just fine, right? Not anything incredible, but just fine. I think this is the slicer grind. Is that what they called this? They had a little note. They sent me, I think, 2 slicers. Yeah, there we go. The slicer. So that's cool. I do like that. It's like if you can't decide between the shark's foot and the clip point or the drop point, then get the slicer, right? That's going to be the nice in between. I'll actually leave mine out here for a comparison. So next up, we have does it say? This one is it's the other slicer. So let's open this up here real quick and see what we've got. I guess I thought all of these came in the little plastic. Maybe the less expensive ones come in the boxes, right? Is this going to be exactly the same thing? Yeah, okay. So perfect. We've got 2 of those in the slicer grind. Is this one already open? Well, this one's already open. I didn't do that. Demko. The last one here is, I think this one's slightly different. This is the black clip. Okay, so this is just the standard clip point blade. Yeah, this is the other one. This is like the one that I gave away on the live stream. So we now have 3 of these to give away on a live stream, which, by the way, when I do them, they're usually Friday evenings. I do these weekly, right? Sometimes they're on Saturdays, sometimes they're on Sundays. I've got 3 kids, and they're all in stuff. Well, not 2 of them are in stuff. One of them's too young, but constantly. If not my own kids, then my nieces and nephews that are all in town. My brother lives in town. My mom lives in town. So I am always busy on the weekend, but I always find time to do a live stream at least once a week, unless it's like a major holiday or something. So usually Friday evenings at 7:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I do massive giveaways of lots of the free stuff that I get for review on this channel. But now we can throw these awesome Demko Shark Cubs into the mix. But if you don't want to wait, you can pick these up for, I think, $90 on their website, which, if you reduce the price to the blade steel and the handle material, that might seem a little bit high. But when you consider what these things are capable of and the fact that they're manufactured in Taiwan and utilizing a proprietary locking system, that price is a lot more justified. This is an absolutely wonderful EDC knife. Absolutely. The closest thing that I can compare it to in terms of reliability, functionality, and just the general joy of utilizing this as an EDC knife, it would be close to like the Vision FG, which isn't that much less expensive. It utilizes Nitro V and Ultim, but it's made in China, so that's going to be less expensive. But this is a more compact carry, and at least the same, if not stronger in terms of the locking system. And honestly, I like the freedom of being able to use or have the option to use that opening hole for a reverse flick. I think the way that the hole is shaped and where it's positioned is actually better than on the 80-20.5. And the reason I like this ergonomically more than the 20.5 is the butt end of this is not hooked back. It doesn't stop you. So if your hands are larger, like you would say too large to get a full grip on this guy, you can still three-finger it. The way that that's worded is bad. You can still get 3 fingers on the handle comfortably because you're not having your pinky sit right on top of this butt cap thing that's meant to lock you in. I think this is how the 20.5 should be shaped, and even the 80-20, despite the 20 having much more room. But this is so much more accommodating for so many people, and it doesn't sacrifice secure grip in any way. It is so unbelievably comfortable. Obviously, we have a deep carry clip that is mountable on both sides, so left and right people can enjoy this and manipulate it exactly the same way. There's no difference, right? So between the 3 blade shapes, and like I said, they should all be available. The shark's foot, the slicer, and the clip point. You can get exactly the blade shape that you want, right? My preference is always going to be the shark's foot. I find that to be the most utilitarian for what I do every single day with a knife, which is really simple stuff, but I do a lot of draw cuts. So having something with the tip down like this makes it really, really nice, but still having some belly here, which was smart, it allows the blade to slice efficiently. It's also got a decently roomy choke-up position, which I think is nice. I wouldn't, be overly confident in this position because you're very, very close to the edge, but it's still roomy, which is surprising because I thought if you made the 80-20.5 any smaller, then you'd have to sacrifice the choke-up position, and you clearly don't. Demko is definitely a master knife designer when it comes to things that are super friendly and utilitarian. The only thing that this knife isn't going to be able to do is tasks that require a longer blade. But if you're going to carry a folding knife, this is about as strong as it gets for the size. I mean, this knife is going to be substantially stronger than most larger folding knives that are utilizing locking systems like liner locks, frame locks, button locks, right? The Shark Lock is just ridiculously powerful. So having that much security in such a small, lightweight, compact object is just amazing. This is now my dedicated, this is my dedicated travel knife, and it's kind of my current go-to for just tossing it in the pocket and, my kind of use it for anything knife. Previously it was the Para 3, which is a little bit larger, but this is the knife that I've probably carried the most out of everything. Even somebody who likes larger knives, larger EDC knives, just because they put a smile on my face. I can't deny that carrying a thinner, lightweight, more compact EDC knife is generally the way to go. The fact that this is even thinner, I mean, both of them, whether you get the contoured injection mold plastic or the G10 one, they're both going to be thinner. They're just easier to carry, but you're not really sacrificing any, especially versus the Para 3, I'm sacrificing exactly 0 cutting edge. I mean, it's got the same cutting edge length. It's just easier to carry. Honestly, I think it's a little bit easier to manipulate even, right? So, love my Para 3. Not saying it's going to be better for everybody, but I really like these. I think these are excellent, and if you've been on the fence, don't be. They're great. So I would like to see, Demko, I would like to see you guys experiment with some other blade steels. I know that 154 cm would cause this knife to go over the $100 price point, right? But it would be nice to see a couple of different things. It would be really cool to see you guys experiment with 14C28N. I think a lot of people would be really, really happy to see that, especially if you could keep it under $100. I think 14C28N would push this knife into a category that like hardly anything else can exist in, right? So you're, if you did a budget 20.5 or, a budget Shark Cub with 14C28N and keeping it under $100, I mean, that is going to be spectacular. That would be spectacular. But I'm sure that the blade steels that they work with are somewhat limited, given, the OEM and things like that. I don't know, but that's just my guess. But there's nothing necessarily wrong with AUS 10A. Like I said, it's going to perform somewhere between 440C and 154 cm, which are both very balanced compositions, assuming they're heat treated properly. But these are excellent. I like them a lot, and I'll be more than happy to give these away, as tempted as I am to keep one of the slicers. But anyways, thanks so much to Demko Knives. These will all be linked in the description. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.